try and put everything up on this one board, and then we just have a little bit on this worksheet to work on, okay? Deal? All right. So, my turn. All right. So I'm just making up a fictitious problem. Okay. So I want to draw like a picture. Let's see. I want this dot there. Okay. Hey, that kind of looks like some of the problems we've worked on. Yes? Agree? Okay. So we're going to ask some questions. And I want to see if you can figure out what things were. Okay. So looking up at the board. So we have a graph, agree? And let's just pretend I'm a really good artist. I know that's a pretty far stretch. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is they ask, what is f at 3? Okay, so if it's f at parentheses, there's a number of parentheses, means you're going on the x-axis. You're figuring out what it's doing. So I'm at f of 3 right here. So what is the y value right there? My tip of my finger. What is the y value?
0.
0. So f at 3 gives me an answer of 0. Okay? So the next one says we want to do f at 0. Some of you are kind of not paying attention. All right, I'm at 0. Right here, there's red 0. Agree? What is the y value? What is the y value there at that 0? 1. Okay. So take a look at the board. Do you feel that you understand what that's asking so far? Okay. Yeah. All right. So, yeah.
How do we know if it's X or Y?
Okay, that's a great question. Let's actually put a note in there. We're going to do this. We're going to take pink. Okay, this is an X value. And these are my X values. This is my Y value. So these are my Y values. Does that make sense? We're good? All right. So for those, I'm looking at the x-axis to try and figure out what's taking place in the y-axis. Okay? But what if I had a problem that said, what if we had a problem that said f at x equals, let's say we said f at x equals 6. Nope, 7. Okay? All right. So let's see if we can make this leap. So I did this problem in red for a reason. The two black problems are done the same way. So I look what's inside the parentheses, I find where that's on the x-axis, and then I figure out what the y-axis or the y value is. Make sense for those first two? Okay. This one, do you agree, looks a little different? So notice above, I said x value is inside, y value is outside. So I only have a y value. Okay? So my y value is 7, so I'm going to come over here. I get to this point, and if I come straight down, I get to 6. Cool. So in this case, x has to equal 6. All right. So let me do this one with some highlighter just so we feel comfortable. Okay. We have this 7. I'm going to roll this straight across, and then I'm going to come straight down. And I'm going to make an arrow. Make an arrow. Okay? That's what it's doing. So I'm going across this way, and then I'm coming down this way to find where it would cross the y-axis. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. So let's do some things that we have already known. So I now want to do this. I want to say that this is the point 0, 1. Agree? This is the point 2, 2. This is the point 3, 0. And this point up here is the point 6, 7. Do you agree with that? Okay. So now let's do this math. Where is this graph increasing? 0 to 2. Any place else? 3 to 6. So notice, and I'm going to do this, I'll do this with a highlighter. So if I want to know where it's increasing, this is increasing, and this is increasing. Agree? So I'm using the x value. That's like what we did on the quiz yesterday, right? So then, if they were to ask us, hey, where is this graph decreasing? Where does it appear that it's decreasing? 2 to 3. Okay, so you use the x value to talk about where it'd be decreasing. Okay? Okay. So let's say we wanted to know what the domain would be equal to. Okay. So the domain, if you remember, the domain are the x values. So what is my furthest left x value? 0. And what is my furthest right x value? 6. Okay? And again, I'm not too concerned at this point if we're getting the square brackets right or the rounded brackets, just as long as you put it in some sort of grouping. And then if I wanted to know what the range was, let's see, pick a color. That might be a good one. If I want to figure out what the range is, remember the range are the y values. So what is my smallest y value? 0. Very good. So this is my smallest y value right here, correct? What is my highest y value? 7. Okay? And then there's other things they asked us, like, hey, what is the max? Remember, the max is the y value, the highest y value. So what's my highest y value? 7. And then if they asked us for the min, this is, again, is my y value. What is my lowest y value? 0. Okay? Okay. So what I want to do is I want to give you a couple of minutes to work on problems 1 and 2. 1 and 2 on this worksheet I'm going to give you, okay? So I'm going to give you a couple. Right, let's try it. Here we go. Shh. Eyes to the board. Shh, shh, shh. F at -5, yes? So what I'm doing up here is I look to -5 right here. Agree? That's the x direction, right? So you come down and you're like, oh, okay, that point right there is at -3. Okay? So I'd get -3 right here. And then if I look at f at 0, 0 right here in the x direction, where do I come down to? That looks like -4.
Wait, so is it always X to Y?
Yeah, in this case. And then f at 3, I find 3, I go 1, 2, 3, this is 3 right here, that's 0, right? Okay, but then where we're going to change this a little bit, notice this says f at x equals 1. So this is a y value. So I'm going to look at 1 in the y direction. 1 in the y direction is right here. So is the graph over here in the y direction? Do I ever cross it over here? No, I kind of come over this way, and so I get to 5. Okay, so this one's done a little bit differently because it says f at x equals. This means this is the y value. So you go to the 1 in the y direction, come over and find the graph. Okay, so let's see. Interval where it is increasing. Interval increasing. I'd say it's increasing here and there, right? So what 0 to 5? And it's decreasing in 2 spots, right? So it's decreasing there, and it's decreasing there, right? So we need to list both of those spots as decreasing. So where is this one decreasing? Tell me in the story using the x's.
-5 to -5? No.
-5 to 0, very good. And 5 to 8. Okay, what is the domain? What's the furthest left x value? -5. And my furthest right is 8. What is my smallest y value? Negative what? -4, very good. What is my highest y value? Hey, doing well. Is Benito in here today? Yeah, Benito's right there. Beautiful curly hair. What is my highest y value? 1, very good. All right, what is my maximum value? Remember, that's a y value. What's my maximum y value then? 1. And what is my minimum y value? -4. So that's how we did that first problem. So see if you can figure out that second problem. I'll give you 3 minutes to give it a shot. Let's walk through this. All right, what is f at -3? Here's -3 right here. 0, very good. What is f at +1? I think it's about 125? I think that's a pretty good guess. Oh, I don't know. 2? Yeah, I think I go with 150. Now, hey, so you think on a test, you think if you put like 128 or 130 or 120, you think I'm going to dock that? No. I mean, you're giving me your best guess, and your guys' eyes are far better than mine, so I'm going to trust your judgment. As long as you don't give me like 11, you're just like, you're way off there. All right. And then this one, f at x equals 0. So remember, this is the y value I'm looking at, the y value. Okay, so 0. I'm going to come up. Where do you think this y value is right here? 90? Okay. Hey, do you feel comfortable so far with what we've done? Seem okay? All right. So let's talk about where this graph is increasing. So it's increasing here. So tell me in the x direction, where does this seem to be increasing? From what number to what number? -3 to 2. Very good. Okay. And then let's look at where it's decreasing. It's decreasing in 2 spots. It's decreasing here, and it's also decreasing here. Agree with that?
Yeah. Wait, is it infinite to -3?
Oh, yes. Because there was an arrow. There's an arrow right there and an arrow right there, right? Oh my gosh, so this is totally something different. -infinity to -3. Oh, that's such a different thing. And then it's going from, is that +3 basically? And there's an arrow there as well. So it's, oh my gosh. Oh man, I didn't know a graph could go to infinity, but I guess they can. All right. Thinking caps on. Oh, this is going to be a tough one. We want to talk about the domain. We have an arrow at both sides of my graph. Agree? Do we agree we have an arrow at both sides of the graph? So what is forever to the left of the board? Negative infinity. What is forever right of the board? Look at that. That's what the domain is. And the reason why it's different on this one is I had endpoints on the first one. This one I have arrows. Okay, now, thinking caps on. The far right side, do you agree that it's pointing and it's going to go down forever? So remember, range is bottom to top. So what is forever downward? Negative infinity. What's forever upward? So take a look at the domain and range of that. They're both the same. So they're both going to go forever left, right for the domain, forever up, down, or down, up for the range. That's a lot different. Okay. Woo! Let's see. 43. Okay. I'm going to scroll down this page a smidge. All right. So now we're going to take a look at this table. So the first thing I want to do is I want to figure out what numbers I'm missing from the table. So what number do you feel would fit here on the table? 30. I agree. What number do you feel would fit here on the table? What's that? 8. I like it. Okay, do you feel comfortable how we've done the table so far? All right. Ready? Thinking caps on. Remember, this is an x value. So what is g at 6? Find the 6 in the x column.
40.
What's the number? 40. That goes with it. What about g at 10? What's the y value there? 60. What about g at 4? 30. Oh, that's almost easier than the graph, right? Now, on this next one, we have to remember that this is a y value here. So we need to find 50 on the y value, which is that. So it's going to be at the 8. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So it asks for the slope. The slope is the change in the y direction. This is the y direction. So this is adding 10 each time. Agree? Yeah. Yeah, can you give me a second? I'm almost done.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm adding 10 each time. What am I adding each time here? 2. So it's the change in y, 10, over the change in x, 2. 10 over 2 reduces to what? 5 over 1, which is the same thing as 5. Okay? This is our slope. Either one of those is my slope. Slope, we use the letter m, right? Okay. Now it says write the equation. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the equation. You ready? You remember this equation? Remember this equation? We talked about it? Okay, ready? So it's going to be y equals, what's my slope? We just found it above. 5. And then I'm going to have an x, and then I'm going to have a plus. Okay, now here's the crazy part of this problem. I can take 2 and plug it in there. Oh, there's supposed to be a minus sign right there. Let me make that before I go further, because I forgot. I got a minus sign right there. Okay. All right. Watch this. So I can take 2 and 20 and plug it in here and here. I can take 4 and 30, plug it in here and here. I can take 6 and 40, plug it in here and here. I can take 8 and 50, plug it in here and here. Or I can take 10 and 60, plug it in here and here. It doesn't matter. Your answer is going to be the same. I mean, it's going to look different. It's just because you chose 2 different points. So I am going to, because I'm like strange, I'm going to pick that point to plug in. Okay? So I'm going to go x minus 2 plus 20. And that's my equation of that line. Okay. How do we feel? Feeling okay? So friends, will you try number 4? Will you try number 4 just like we did on number 3? Try number 4. Deal? All right, ready? Let's fill out the rest of the graph. So what number should this be right here? 1. Very good. I'm subtracting 5 each time, right? What should this number be? What am I doing from here to here? 8, I agree. So I'm adding 3 each time, right? All right. So what is f at -4? F at -4? 16. Good. What is f at 2? 6. And f at 5? 1. Okay, and then we change gears a little bit. If I have f at x equals -4, what does x have to be? 8. Love it. You get what we did? All right, the slope, the change in y. What's it doing in the y direction? Remember, this is the y. Subtracting 5. And what's it doing in the x direction? Adding 3.
How do we get 16?
16. Oh, this 4 right here?
Oh,
Was that
-4?
Yeah. All right, write the equation. So remember, again, we're going to use this equation. So I'm going to pick another point. I'm going to pick this point right here. Okay, I could have picked any of them. It's going to be the same. It's going to come out the same equation. So I'm going to get y equals -5/3 x minus 5 plus 1. Okay. Hey, friends, will you bring this sheet back tomorrow? Bring it back tomorrow? Stay warm. Have a great day. As soon as it gets to 42, you can scat out of here.